The fluorescent lights hum overhead. Gladys Rodriguez clutches her purse in a municipal courtroom. Her knuckles are white. Inspector Quinn places a thick file on the wooden bench. He looks at the judge. He looks at Gladys. He says her name like a verdict. Gladys Rodriguez, good morning. Gladys, what are we going to do with you? Judge Frank Caprio leans forward. His voice is softer now, but his eyes are sharp. Look at this innocent little girl, he says, holding up a photo from the file. It's Gladys's daughter. She has 9 violations, 9 red lights and speeding. He lets the number hang in the air. The audience in the gallery shifts. 9 is not a mistake. It is a pattern. Gladys's shoulders curl inward. She is trying to make herself small. Gladys, what do you do? Do you work? Her voice is a thin wire. Yes, I work for a staffing agency. I'm a recruiter. The judge presses for an explanation. The story spills out in a nervous rush. My explanation to those tickets: I dealt with a domestic violence relationship. I did a lot of those lights running away from somebody that used to chase me with my daughter. The air changes. A domestic violence claim changes the geometry of the room. It turns a traffic case into something darker. The judge's posture shifts from judicial to concerned. How old is your daughter? 9. Is she living with you? Yeah, she's in school right now. Gladys is defensive, her words tumbling over each other. She mentions another license plate, old issues from 2011. She is throwing out information, hoping something will stick. The judge holds up a hand. Wait a minute. He needs to untangle this. Inspector Quinn interjects with a cop's skepticism. He's done his homework. Judge, Danny checked on that. He said there was a couple of reports of something. There was some damage to her vehicle and stuff like that. But he goes, he doesn't think all of them. This is the first major event. The collision of her desperate story and the system's cold facts. Not all the violations can be explained by flight. Some were just driving. The judge absorbs this. He sees a woman trapped between a past terror and a present mountain of fines. Her mindset is one of survival, not compliance. She is not a criminal. She is a fugitive, even if the chase is sometimes only in her rearview mirror. The tension tightens. The hidden truth is now exposed. Gladys's trauma is real, but her recklessness is also real. The judge acknowledges the sensitivity. We are very sensitive to matters involving personal safety, and that's very personal with you, and so we're not going to get into that at all. He validates her pain, but he does not absolve her. Many of these were not related to anything else except that you violated the traffic laws, okay? He draws a hard line. Her state of mind may explain some actions, but it does not excuse them. The consequences are clear. 9 tickets represent a massive financial burden. A single mother, a recruiter, cannot easily absorb this blow. The danger is not just the fines. It is the potential loss of her license. It is the inability to drive her daughter to school, to get to work, to run again if she needs to. The stakes are her stability. The judge turns to her ability to pay. So, are you working? Yes. What do you do? I'm a recruiter for a staffing agency. Okay. And you have 1 child? I'm a single parent. Each question is a brick in the wall of her reality. She is barely managing. The fines are not a punishment. They are an anchor that could pull her under. The judge sees this. He sees the woman, not just the docket number. He understands the emotional cost etched on her face. The consequence of paying these fines could be choosing between them and groceries. The consequence of not paying could be a suspended license, job loss, and a deeper descent into the very instability she fears. The turning point arrives. The judge makes a critical decision. He chooses compassion, but he does it with structure. He will not simply dismiss the case. That would be an empty gesture. Instead, he will show her that the world is not entirely hostile. I can understand you're going through some difficulty, and that's why we're going to try to help you out, okay? He reveals his tool. There are in this country and this world some very generous people. He holds up an envelope. He reads a name. Joseph Badass from Kingston, Pennsylvania. The name brings a slight, nervous smile. He sent me a check for $100, asking that I use this, exercising my discretion, but that I do it by exercising some compassion and empathy. The pressure in the room shifts. It is no longer the pressure of judgment, but the overwhelming pressure of unexpected grace. Gladys's eyes begin to glisten. The judge continues, building the momentum of hope. The Fields family of Phoenix, Arizona. They sent me a check for $75. These people are both immigrants, and they want to help someone else who is in need. He adds a third. Zeno Muller, coaching, sent in a check for $50. He does the math aloud. The total from strangers is $225. Her fine is $350. The arithmetic of her problem is being rewritten before her eyes. She now owes $125. The critical mistake, the accumulation of violations, has been met with a critical decision, radical empathy. The story shifts from what she owes to what she has been given. The pressure she feels now is the weight of this gift, the responsibility to honor it. The emotional dam breaks. Gladys, who has been holding herself together with sheer will, lets go. "Can I give you a hug?" she asks, her voice thick with tears. It is not a request for mercy anymore. It is an offering of gratitude. The judge smiles warmly. "Come on up here." This is the final confrontation, not with an adversary, but with kindness itself. She walks to the bench. They embrace. The courtroom, which moments before was a place of cold procedure, is now filled with a powerful human connection. The audience applauds, not for a legal victory, but for a shared moment of humanity. The judge holds her shoulders. "Relax. Feel better now?" She nods, unable to form words. Thank you. I appreciate it. You'll be fine. I really do." He does not let her off the hook completely. He ensures the resolution is clear and responsible. "Can you afford the $125? It is a final, practical question that grounds the moment. She can. The problem is solved. The pacing here is deliberate. Every move is documented. The ask, the approach, the embrace, the reassurance. The viewer understands that the lesson is not about avoiding consequences, but about meeting hardship with a heart. The detail of the 3 donors, their names, their homes, their amounts, makes the generosity specific and real. It is not a vague benevolence. It is $225 from Joseph, the Fields family, and Zeno. The final outcome is delivered. Gladys walks away from the bench, not as a defendant burdened by debt, but as a person who has been seen and helped. The judge's closing message is not spoken to her directly, but it is the lesson the viewer takes away. His actions have shouted it. The world can be a difficult, frightening place. People make mistakes. They carry heavy burdens. But within the rigid structures we build, there must always be room for compassion. The system worked not because it was rigid, but because it was flexible enough to be human. The strong closing message is in the image of that hug. It stays in the viewer's mind. It is the proof that justice and kindness are not opposites. They can and must work together. The resolution is clear. Gladys will pay a manageable amount. She will leave with her record cleared and her faith restored. The lesson is that no one is beyond help, and that generosity, even from strangers, can be a powerful force for good. The story ends with Gladys leaving the courtroom, a weight visibly lifted, carrying with her the memory of a day when the law looked at her and saw a person.